Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking, as you can see from the thumbnail and title, about Haaland, or more specifically, why he will slow down as the season goes on. Because if we look at current season here, we can see 7 goals, 3 games. Now this is coming from a Man City fan, so don't tell me that I'm a salty rival fan or anything, because a lot of City fans get so offended when you attack a player. Like, calm down. I love Haaland. Calm down. If you're a City fan, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. But that's besides the point. Let me go through this here, and let me show you these stats and explain these stats. And then at the end, I'll tell you why this is important, because it is quite important. Now, Haaland got 27 goals in his first full season at Dortmund. Now, those goals, half of them were in the first half of the season, despite the fact that he had major injuries in this first half of the season, whereas he didn't really have that in the second half of the season. Why is that? Well, I'll go through the rest of the seasons he has here, and again, same story, half of his goals in this first half of the season. To be fair, he did have quite a bit of injuries in the second half as well. But in his first half, he had more injuries than in the second half. Then, his Manchester City debut season, of course. We all know how many goals he scored there. Again, by the 19th game, he had scored about half of his goals. And, I mean, he was on the bench for one game, to be fair, and had a groin problem. He only had one game less in that second half of the season. This is the 23-24, the fourth-peat season, and I don't know how fair it is to compare to this one, because as you can see, there was quite an injury here, and in this period where Haaland played, let me be honest, below his own standards, at some points blatantly terribly, at other points it was less bad, but like, in this Burnley game, he was terrible, let's be honest. He was terrible in that Burnley game. He only played a few minutes, but he was terrible. He was also terrible against Arsenal. Then again, he did not get a lot of chances either, so how much can we blame him? But if you look at this, again, he is not scoring as many goals in the second half of the season as he is in the first half of the season. Now we are here, 7 goals, 3 games. Do we expect this to go down again? Why will it go down again? And how do we stop it from going down like that? Because we don't want that to keep happening, of course. We want Haaland to be playing at his top level that he plays in the start of a season, all season long. Preferably 38 games a season, we want him to play at 7 goals every 3 games. Which, that would surpass Dixie Dean's goal record, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up if you don't know. Dixie Dean's goal record in the top flight in a single season, it's like 60 goals or something like that. I'm not quite sure. It's ridiculous, but how do we keep Haaland playing at this level all season long? And the answer is, we make sure that Haaland is well rested. Why does Haaland stop scoring as many goals in the second half of the season? It is because Haaland gets injuries. Back injuries, the worst of them all. Because once your back is gone, you're done. I promise you. If you're older and you've ever blown out your back, you know, once that back goes, it's game over. And Haaland, for the majority of last season, was playing on a back injury. That is a problem. You need to fix that. You need to make sure that Haaland can play without having any back injuries all season long. Here is the problem with that. He is tall, heavy, and strong. And fast. Why is that a problem? If you are tall, you put more pressure on your spine. If you are heavy, you put more pressure on your spine. The faster you run, the more pressure you put on your spine. So Haaland essentially puts a lot of pressure on his spine. Now he can train his back and get very strong back muscles to compensate for that. But that won't solve the issue, it won't. At most, it will probably strain his back muscles and probably make it worse. What Haaland needs is to play only 60 minutes unless it's a big game. For example, West Ham. It's justified that Haaland played the full 90 against West Ham because it was a tough game. We needed the points, we were struggling. It is not justified for Haaland to play 80 minutes against Ipswich Town. Now I know Pep kept him on to get that first hat-trick of the season, and there is a week between. There is 7 days rather than 3 days, so you can rest more. Okay, fine. I'm okay with that. He should not be playing 80 minutes in the second or in after the international break here, when we are going to be playing every 3 days, when we are 3 goals up or 2 goals up against the likes of Ipswich. He simply should not play that much. Because if you get Haaland to play less, he will score more. Hold up, that's a contradiction. No, because I've just explained to you, he stopped scoring as rapidly in the second half of the season when his back goes. And Pep Guardiola is not dumb. At least I hope he's not. I think Pep Guardiola probably realizes this, which is why Pep wanted a striker, but he didn't get one. But we still have a striker as a backup. Maybe not a very popular opinion here, but Mateus Nunes. I've talked about him before. Mateus Nunes can be that backup striker, I suppose, if you will. He is tall, decently fast. It's not the fastest, but he can run. He can finish decently well. He can get a header to a ball. His overall play is worse than Haaland. Like people forget how good Haaland's general play is because his first season he was terrible. His second season he could have been a midfielder in any team except Man City, Arsenal, or Liverpool. Genuinely, a lot of people disrespect his general play for no reason, just because he doesn't do a lot of it. But Nunes is worse in every facet than Haaland when it comes to the duties of a striker. But so is Ollie Watkins, so is Ivan Toney, Ivan Toney has better general play, but so is pretty much every striker in the Premier League, except maybe Ivan Toney, who has gone anyways. So let's not compare Nunes to Haaland, that's just unfair. The question is, can Nunes play as a striker 30 minutes when we don't really need a goal anymore? Can Nunes play as a striker in a game against Ipswich Town when we want to rest Haaland? I believe he can. And if we do that, let's say we rest Haaland for 8 games this season, assuming he doesn't get any injuries, then you are looking at Haaland playing 30 games at maybe not the same tempo as he is at right now, but at a high tempo, higher than he usually has in that second half of the season. So let's say, first half of the season, we rest him 4 games in the first half of the season. We have 15 games. We are currently going at a rate of 7 goals every 3 games. So what? 7 times 5. Jesus Christ. He will be at 35 goals. Jesus Christ, imagine he keeps that up. Oh my days, I didn't think about it like that. There is no way he keeps that up, but if he does, he'll be at 35 goals by December. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous, isn't it? He won't keep that up, but let's say he gets to 20 goals, 25 goals, something like that. Actually, 20 goals. Let's take 20 goals, yeah? Because in the treble season, he also got 20 goals in the first half of the season. Now, in the treble season, he only got 16 goals in the second half of the season. Let's say we have kept Haaland more fit. Now he gets 20 goals in the second half as well. You have 40 goals a season from Haaland. You suddenly have more goals, just more goals. Simply like that, because you rest Haaland better. This is something Man City fans just don't want to talk about for some reason. Like, they get so touchy the moment you say Haaland will slow down. Calm down. We don't need Haaland to play every game. What we do need for him is to be at his best in the title race. In my opinion, get Haaland to be at his best in title races, and you don't have title races anymore. It's a procession. You just walk the title. If Haaland is completely fit that second half of the season, we are walking through the Premier League, we are going on a storm, we are winning it easily. But you need to make sure Haaland is fit for that. So we need to make sure Haaland plays less games, because he is a player that will get injured quicker, that will get fatigued quicker than most. So that's really my opinion here, I suppose, on Haaland, on why he will slow down, unless we make sure he will slow down. He's not keeping up 7 goals a game. But if he is, by the way, if he is, then he will, let's say he plays 30 games, then he gets to 70 goals in the Premier League alone. What is Messi's record in La Liga? Let's look this up. What is Messi's record in La Liga before I end this video here? Messi most goals in La Liga. I believe it was 50, right? Yeah, I know that. Yes, 50. There we go. 50 goals. And Dixie Dean, what is his record? It's Dixie Dean most goals in a season. Jesus. How many games were there in that season? Like, that is insane, isn't it? Now, what season was this? It doesn't tell me. 1927-28. Well, 28 season England. In English football, there we go. First division, that's what I want to know. How many there were a few games more. There were 42 games. But that's still ridiculous, isn't it? That's still ridiculous, isn't it? 60 goals. He got half of the goals for Everton that season. More than half. Oh my days. Dixie Dean was ridiculous, wasn't he? Anyhow, that's completely off topic. Thank you guys for watching to the end. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you for listening to my ramble if you have stick along to the end here. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.